turn our attention to our next session, a holistic path to health, mind, body, and nourishment. And moderating today's conversation is Corinne L. Corbett. She's the editorial director at Black Health Matters, and she is a longtime media leader whose work with Essence, Real Simple, Heart and Soul, and Mode has shaped how Black women think about beauty, wellness, and whole life care. She's joined by Maria Moore Collins, a trainer and wellness coach who has helped more than 1,000, I'll say that again, a trainer who has helped more than 1,000 women transform their health through sustainable habits and intentional movement. She is the founder of Empowered by Maria and the host of Mind, Body, and Business. Next is Dr. C. Nicole, a pediatrician and obesity medicine specialist who leads the Wait a Minute Clinic, a whole person telehealth practice serving families across Georgia, and she is the author of a book entitled But the Scale Says, which reminds girls that their worth is bigger than just a number. And rounding out our panel is Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, a naturopath, master herbalist, best-selling author, and host of Ask the Good Doctor. She blends spiritual grounding with practical wellness and her deep commitment to natural health. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our panel.
We have an amazing, amazing panel. And we're talking about holistic health, holistic with a W, meaning your whole body, your whole soul, your whole mind. And we want to start with Dr. LaJoyce. What does an ND do, a naturopathic doctor? And do they work in partnership with other practitioners?
Hi, everyone. Hi. A naturopathic doctor treats one with everything that is in nature, not using medicine. It is stated that a true doctor, a naturopathic doctor, the real goal of medicine is to help people not to need it. It's to help you not to need it. So I teach you how to attain, maintain, and reclaim perfect health. And yes, I absolutely work in an interdisciplinary way with other doctors. We must do that, because if we did that more collectively, we could really heal the nations.
Yes. Okay, so why are we so obsessed with detoxification? And is it beneficial to our health?
Did you say obsessed?
Obsessed, as we are obsessed. People will try anything labeled detox, whether it is truly detox from a tea to a program. And there are differences in those. So
there are differences in the detoxes, and I've created one myself. It's called the Trinity Detox 21-day detoxification program. Yes, for this reason, because people may be obsessed, but they don't exactly know where to turn. Some detoxes may detoxify the blood, but then you forget about the parasites. Some parasite detoxes do that, but then they forget about the lungs and the liver. So this is a full spectrum detoxification program that hits the lung, liver, lymphatic system, everything in between, and kills the parasites, and has a chelator and a binder, and is exceptional for the body. And why? Because I think a lot of people have heard about detoxing, but not really sure what to try. A lady came to me and said she spent a lot of money doing a lot of detoxing. Today she just said this, and none of them work. I said, I'm gonna help you. I promise you, we're gonna get it all going, and get it all moving, and get it out.
yeah. So we can clap for that, y'all. Now, last question for you right now. What does it mean to achieve perfect health in your eyes? And why do many of us think it's unattainable?
Many people think that perfect health is unattainable because, well, they don't think it's attainable. I personally utilize myself as a barometer. I'm 63. I can stand up and sit down without pain. I don't use makeup to cover my skin. I don't have anything to hide behind. I don't wear glasses, not even cheaters. My hair and my nails still grow, and I don't take not one medication. That is perfect health.
But we have to do work to achieve that.
Must do work to achieve that.
Yeah, so she didn't this is not hereditary. She did the work.
It's not, and I don't believe, when you said, may I? Yeah. You said it's not hereditary. I don't believe that your biography is your biology.
Right.
I don't believe that. Like, there are diseases that, of course, are hereditary and some genetic things, of course, but I think that it's primarily lifestyle. So if you are making that macaroni and cheese with 5 macaroni and cheeses and the cream of mushroom soup and then you get on the phone and you want to talk to grandmama and them about how to make it because it tastes so good, and then you feed it to your husband and wonder why he's sick. See, that's the kind of thing we must stop. Because we pass that on, then you'll have the diseases that mama, grandmama, and auntie them had if you eat and do what granny, mama, and auntie did. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, Dr. C. Nicole, AKA Dr. Courtney Whittle. You know, sometimes we do need conventional medicine and we need the help of things, especially when it comes to unhealthy weight. So, Dr. C. Nicole, people have a lot of questions about GLP-1 medicines. Can they aid in achieving holistic health?
Yes, I think the short answer, yes, because obesity and weight is the precursor to most everything in our body and disease. We know for a fact, and we can list out 22 different conditions, everything from cancer to high blood pressure, diabetes, joint pain, right, lupus, sleep apnea, and we know this. And so when you treat the root, right, the flowers that grow from are healthier. And so GLP-1s have been shown to improve and help patients lower weight, but again, also help people resolve their high blood pressure, get off the cholesterol medications. Now I'm not sleeping with the machine or faking sleeping with the machine that the doctor prescribed, but I don't really use anyways, right? And then we've seen where it also helps to improve skin and help to improve our energy. And so, yes, I think GLP-1s create and have been an amazing medication option to help help people achieve the freedom that is health.
So it's an option and an aid.
Correct. And I think it is an important option because I do think that there are multiple aspects to weight and obesity. And yes, for some, it is what we're eating and how much we're eating and what we're putting in ingredients. Yes. And that definitely plays a role.
So that leads me to my next question. How do you educate your patients about the importance of the nutritional component? Because everybody can take a shot and still not get results, right? So how do you educate your patients about the nutritional component in treating unhealthy weight for those with overweight and obesity?
Yeah. I mean, I think just like you said, our culture and social media has made it so that we want things hurry, hurry, quick, quick, right? And so there's a commercial that says, if you take this, I can achieve this. But the reality is that it's just that, it's an ad, it's a commercial. And so changing your lifestyle is really what assists any medication, whether it's an antibiotic to a GLP-1, in doing its job. But more importantly, right, the studies that show that what percentage of people regain weight after bariatric surgery, after medications, the ones that don't have made changes to the way that they eat, are exercising regularly, are drinking their water, right? So it's a whole program, it's a whole lifestyle change, it's a whole mentality change.
I think that's really important to note because there is no like magic bullet. There's no one and done. This is something, whatever we do for our health, we have to consistently do in order to see the results long term. Can you tell us, I think a lot of people are afraid of this, even before they even approach a GLP-1. What is the step down process of stopping these medications and how do you avoid the yo-yo effect that we just discussed?
The most important piece of advice I have is first, do it under the care of a physician. I think the biggest mistake many people make, I call it the feeling themselves atosis. That's where I've gotten to my goal. I look good, I feel good, I'm doing all the things. And so I say, okay, I'm done, right? And we stop the medication abruptly. That is a mistake. Kind of saying I'm gonna Google or what, like that is a mistake. You wanna have the guidance of a doctor to help you wean the medication off because you wanna have checkpoints. There's a balance. It's calories in, calories out, calories in, calories out. And the medicine has helped us decrease our calories in. But then you've got to think about what type of calories, right? So if you haven't changed your diet and we're eating, McDonald's 3 times a week, On the medicine, I'm eating less of that. Without the medicine, I go back to eating more. That's problematic. I've got to have a balance of calories out. I've got to have a exercise plan, right? For some, that's a trainer. For some, that's a gym. For some, that's stretching in a chair. But we have to have a program and a plan to make sure that we still have the balance that replaces what the medicine was doing for you.
Thank you so much. So Maria Moore, what role does fitness play in achieving holistic health?
Wow. Well, fitness is the cornerstone of holistic wellness. I see a lot of T-shirts here, not your average senior. I see y'all out here. Deshaun is my homie, good friends. And I just want you to think about, how do you feel when you're exercising? You feel so good. And I've seen the videos. Y'all are like internet superstars. When you're exercising, especially within a group environment, you get the community, you get the music, you get the movement, you get that sense of accomplishment, and you also get a sense of discipline. And I'm sure that anybody who exercises regularly, they can tell you that when you exercise, it transcends into so many other areas of your life. If you are a business owner, it provides focus and clarity, creativity. In terms of your overall health and wellness, you're fighting inflammation, you're fighting obesity, you're doing things that are good for your body. Movement is medicine and motion is lotion. And listen, it is definitely the cornerstone.
Say that again.
Yes.
Say that for the people in the back.
Movement is medicine and motion is lotion.
Excuse me. What are the challenges that you see among your clients regarding having the right mindset? Because mindset is everything about their overall health.
Yeah, one of the things that I constantly tell my clients, especially when they're engaging in exercise, is that the body follows the mind, right? And one of the biggest barriers that I see with my clients and just many people in general is this all or nothing attitude. If I can't give 100%, I'm going to give 0%. And I have conversations quite often with people, and I ask them about their wellness journey and their goals. And I ask, well, where were you last year? Well, pretty much the same exact space that I am right now. And so imagine if you would have taken a slower pace. Maybe you only focused on having a healthy dinner every night instead of overhauling your entire day. Maybe you only focused on consistently moving your body for 15 to 20 minutes a day instead of 60 minutes. What if you consistently did that over time and only lost 2 pounds per month? Well, by the end of the year, you're 24 pounds down. So the all or nothing mentality can be a huge barrier. Also, a lot of people associate fitness with just appearance. Yes, we want to look good. Yes, we want to look nice in our photos, but fitness is really about the totality of being well and living well and the quality of your life. We have a lot of seniors in here. And when I think about what I'm doing now for my body, I'm doing it for my future self. I want to climb mountains. I want to travel. I want to walk around on a cruise ship. I don't want to be limited. And so the quality of your life, just really understanding and focusing your mindset on that, how fitness, how nutrition plays a role in your overall well-being and your quality of life.
Thank you so much. What advice would you give our audience in finding the right trainer or coach? Because there are a lot of people who come, especially on social media, and claim to be experts. And we need to be able to weed out who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't. So after Maria answers that, I would ask that both the doctors weigh in as well. How do you find the right person in your field who is creating a program for you as a whole person?
Yeah, someone who listens more than they speak. When you have that initial conversation, they shouldn't be doing all of the talking. They should be listening to you. They should be asking you questions about your routine, about any physical limitations, any injuries that you may have. They should be asking what your fitness goals are. I think it's very important that people look at exercise not only as a form to get healthy and do something that's good for your body, but also a way to challenge yourself. So, I ask my clients, what do you want to be able to do? Do you want to be able to run a mile in 10 minutes? Do you want to be able to do a pull-up? So imagine you thinking, visualizing yourself doing that pull-up, but I'm giving you exercises to build you up to do that. And so I'm kind of being sneaky with it. I'm making you exercise and you're working towards that goal. So autonomy is really important. You wanting to exercise and understanding how important it is and doing it on your own when you're not with your trainer. Does your trainer inspire that? Did they do an assessment? Did they see how you move your body? You know, did you tell them you have back pain and they got you jumping and doing exercises that make it worse? Do you have muscle imbalances? You know, so it's very important that they are asking you those questions, asking you how you're sleeping at night, asking what you're eating and what you're putting into your body, asking you what kind of support do you have at home. So those are very, very important things outside of the credentials, outside of, look, show me your receipts. Let me talk to somebody that you've helped that's like me. You know, that's why y'all love Deshaun so much. That's why y'all love Deshaun. I gotta give him a shout out because you know he cares. You know he's in it with you. He inspires you to move. Y'all look forward. That's why y'all came out here 200 deep today. So listen.
All right, before we get to
That's
that,
what
I
it
just have
is.
another question for you, Maria. How, as someone embarks on this, what are the signs that things are moving in the right direction that they can see for themselves? Because as you said, some people get disappointed losing 2 pounds per month. So what are other ways that they can tell that things are moving in the right direction?
Yeah, you know, I really believe in measuring your progress beyond the scale. So there's a couple of things that you can do. Definitely, you can look at your measurements, right? Because I have seen people go from 145 pounds to 145 pounds or 180 pounds to 180 pounds, but their body composition completely changes. And so if you're engaging in strength training and you're building muscle, muscle is metabolically active. It requires calories to grow. So you could weigh the same, but your body composition is changing. So don't only rely on the scale. Women, you know, our hormones are all over the place. You could be retaining water. There's so many reasons why the scale could fluctuate. So one, measurements. Another thing is have a pair of tester pants. Maybe it's those pants that you got to do a few yoga poses to get in. You got to jump around and kind of stretch out a little bit. So maybe you're not having to stretch as much. Maybe they're sliding right up again. So that's really important. And also, look at your attitude about exercise and about the way that you eat. How do you feel? How you feel matters. You know, are you more optimistic? Are you more excited about engaging in things that are good for your body? So those are just a few things.
All right. So I want to get back to the question, Dr. C. Nicole, how does one find a reputable person to help them deal with unhealthy weight? What should they be looking for?
In a doctor, I think the first thing is, are they listening to you? You know, is it someone who makes you feel like they have heard your goals and that they are coming up with a treatment plan that is for you versus this is what I have for everyone and you pick and choose what you want based on a menu list. I also think it's important on the flip side, are you comfortable? Like how many of us have gone to the doctor has ended the encounter and says, do you have any questions? And you have them, but you don't like the way this doctor is speaking to you or you don't like the way they look. And so you keep them to yourself. That's the wrong doctor. How many of us, we gonna keep it 100, how many of us have been prescribed medicine and we have it, we picked it up, but it's right there in the medicine cabinet, we are not taking it. And then when we go back to the doctor, hey, how are things going? Oh, everything's going great. Right? That's also not the doctor for you because they can't help you because you're not being open and honest, right? And so having someone that you feel like trusts you enough to give you the information, that you need to make be part of the health plan is important, and someone that you feel is hearing you. And then we're going to also keep it on someone who is actually trained in the field, right? I think, like to your point, social media, the internet, there's a lot of pop-up shops. We go to the mall, we go to this corner, there's a fitness this, a lose 30 pounds in 30 days. The answer is you cannot and you should not, right? And so someone who oversells something is also the wrong look.
Thank you. And Dr. LaJoyce, finding a naturopathic doctor. There might be people who have been interested in it, were not clear on what you do. Now they have a little bit more information. What should they be looking for in a practitioner?
I think that what you should be looking for in a practitioner is one who you feel will care, that you don't mind bearing your soul and sharing your truths. An African proverb states that the one who conceals his truth cannot be healed. And so if you are looking to pay money, sit down and tell only half truths, then you're not the patient for that doctor, and that doctor is going to, probably a doctor like me, is going to call you out on it because 1 + 1 does not equal 2. And so we are health detectives. That is going to be the one who asks you a multiplicity of questions. And I've had so many people say, what does that question matter? Oh, it matters everything. And so we get down to the mind, body, spirit, down to, do you like your job? How often are you peeing and pooping? And so if the doctor doesn't really get down under in that, then you're not getting to the nitty gritty and the root cause of the problem. And that's the naturopathic doctor. That's what we're looking for, root causes.
That's great. So you know what to look for in all of these professionals. I'm going to ask one more question. I need you, the audience, to have your questions ready so that we can have that, so that our experts can answer them. This is for each of you. What tip can each of you suggest to our audience for them to start integrating a holistic health strategy into their life starting today? Remember, if you were here from the beginning, Lydia Thacker gave us some homework. So we're supposed to have a strategy of 2 things. So if we can get some tips from you, maybe they'll help our audience in choosing what they might start with.
I think the biggest strategy is be realistic. Things, we didn't gain weight, we didn't become unhealthy, we didn't get hypertension overnight. So trying to expect to lose it overnight is unrealistic. And when we're unrealistic with our goals, we become unrealistic in the way in which we go about it. We say to ourselves, all right, I'm gonna join this gym, I'm gonna go 5 times a week. Great, and you're gonna do that for 2 weeks, you're gonna get tired, and you're gonna stop, right? We're gonna say, I'm gonna cut out all carbs. No, you're not. I know I'm not. Why would we? I like pancakes, right? So why set a goal that is unrealistic from the start? You pick some habits and then you say to yourself, I want to exercise. Great. How often do you want to exercise? What do you like doing, right? If you like it, you're going to go. What does my schedule look like? I've got 6 kids, so I can't go every day. I don't want to go every day. But what is one day where maybe my husband can pick up the kids and that's the day I go every single week, right? What is my problem area? I eat snacks. Great. So we're not going to cut all snacks out, but maybe we say to ourselves starting off, I want to eliminate chips. That's a realistic goal. I can say that. I didn't say I'm going to eliminate chips, cookies, and all popcorn and everything. I said I'm going to start with chips, right? So we have a goal that we set because we are human and we feed off of positivity. If I set a goal and I accomplish it, oh my God, I'm ready to do the next, right? But if I set a goal of 10 things and I can't do it, now I feel defeated. Now I'm throwing the scale, I'm throwing it, and then I'm going to get a big bag of chips because I'm mad, right? So that's my tip.
Dr. LaJoyce?
I want to give you some attainable things that you can do, and this is how you can also attain perfect health. But guess what? It's absolutely for free. It costs you money. No money. Write this down. Number 1, drink a glass of water every hour you're awake. Number 2, pee and poop when nature calls you to pee and poop. Number 3, go to bed at 10 o'clock. And number 4, exercise. If you combine those 4 things, believe it or not, and do them for 7 days consciously, you will change your health trajectory.
Wow, that's a great list. And even if you start with 1 or 2 and build upon them.
And give yourself some grace.
Yes.
Yeah, and what you all said was great. I would just add on to that. Just really evaluate your mental meal plan. Like, what are you feeding yourself mentally? Like, what is your morning? What are you doing first thing in the morning? What does your environment look like? Does your environment support your wellness goals? Are snacks all up in your face, Can you exchange your chips and stuff with fruit? Because when you see it, you'll eat it, right? You know, a lot of times we just eat stuff out of boredom. So just look at little things that you can do. Maybe when you go to a restaurant, ask for a to-go box when you get your plate and put half of that meal in the to-go box. There's little things that you can do, small habits that can make a big difference. So be honest with yourself and do those things.
Thank you all. Weren't these women, these experts, fantastic? Let's give them a round of applause. Now we're ready for your questions. We have a question over here.
Thank you. Yes. Hi. Who said it? I think you said accomplish the small wins, like the goals that we do. My question is, how can we? Because like when I exercise, I like accomplish my small wins by introducing the thing that I wanted to get rid of. Like, you know, like if I like accomplish a goal and I'm trying to get rid of ice cream, but I accomplished this goal, so I'm gonna get me some ice cream. So it's like it's like how do I like get rid of that? And also with consistency, like I'll fall short with consistency. So what are some things that like can help not fall short with that?
I really love that question. So culturally, meaning in the United States, we have been taught to use food for a lot of different reasons other than nutrition. Rewards is one of them, right? And it starts from childhood that if you act good, I'm gonna take you to go get a lollipop, right? Or we're gonna go get ice cream. So we're used to associating food with so many different things. And so my first challenge to you is to identify a reward that is not food-based. So maybe that reward for yourself and even for your loved ones, your family, is I am going to then spend 10 extra minutes uninterrupted in the shower, right? With the hot water, I am going to sit down and I'm going to finish this Netflix series that I've been watching and I'm going to lock the door. Maybe with our family, instead of the celebrations, we've got the cake and the da-da-da-da-da. Maybe it's I am going to celebrate with my time, with a game, with a something, because we've got to learn to separate food from fellowship, from fun, because what we are really doing is celebrating life by doing something unhealthy that ultimately takes away our life, right?
And I would just add on to that, and maybe LaJoyce, you can give some recommendations, but there are things that are nutrient dense that are sweet and cold. And so I would say explore some of those things, explore options that are good for you that you can get those micronutrients from that can replace that desire for the ice cream. And eventually you may get to the place where you just don't desire it anymore. I think people, you know, when we think about eating healthy, it's like, you know, you put a dry piece of chicken and the broccoli be ugly and it just be ugly on the plate. It is hard to get excited about it. Man, make eating healthy, make it look sexy, lay it out on the plate. Try different recipes. There are things that are delicious that taste good. So challenge yourself. I would challenge you to go and explore different things that taste good, that have those nutrients. And yeah.
Agreed, what you said.
So did you want to make any
No, she
recommendations?
said it, that's it.
Okay, all right. Next question, any questions? I see any hands? We have one in the
I
front.
just want Dr. LaJoyce to speak about her program for detoxing.
Oh, the Trinity 21-day detox. If you come to room 138, we're helping people get it ordered today. And this will detoxify the lung, liver, lymphatic system, and kill the parasites and everything in between. I'm here for you to help you through it. There's also a companion book also available in that room as well. Yes, so it's, I went all the way to Malaysia to have this formulated and teamed up with a company called Edmark and as a partner to get this done because I just found the standards substandard for what I was seeking and for the best efficacy, it's in here. Thank you for asking. Room
138.
138, down that
Okay,
hall.
other questions? We have one in the back. One in the
How much
back.
is the kit there, ma'am, doctor?
Yes, oh, this is $250. And you can use their flexible pay options if you would like, or your flexible spending pay.
Okay, so we have someone standing up in the back. We're ready.
Yes, so I also like to address the question to Dr. LaJoyce, is that are you accepting patients now? I've had a naturopathic doctor for a while, and she's gone on to new things now and just shut the business, and I didn't realize it. And I've been looking for someone for just a few weeks, and this is perfect.
Oh, thank you so much. I am actually accepting patients. In fact, for those of you who are here today, I am offering $50 off of a 1-hour phone consultation with me, so you can sign up for a time and date, also in room 138 today.
Thank you.
Okay.
Are there other questions?
Yes, I have a question. I'm a curious person, and
Can you
my
speak up?
question is really about the GLP. Does the GLP actually help the different things the different diseases such as diabetes and stuff that you said it cures, or is it just because you are not obese anymore?
So that's a tricky question because they actually go hand in hand oftentimes. So to answer your question with diabetes, when you look at what the medicine does, the GLPs do two things. They increase my body's response to insulin. Diabetes is a disease where either I don't make insulin or I make it, but my body is like, I'm not hearing that whatsoever and I'm not responding. And so if you have a medicine that makes it so your body responds well, that is how you lower your blood sugar levels, and then it helps resolve the diabetes. Now, what throws off your body's response to insulin in the first place is your percentage of fat tissue or sick fat. So as you also lower that, that helps improve the insulin sensitivity. So it is circular, and they do sometimes go hand in hand.
With just being obese.
We have a question in the front.
But I also had
Somebody
a
needs to
question
come
for
to you with
Dr.
a microphone.
LaJoyce.
Go ahead, baby, answer the question.
Okay, I'm an ice cream lover. I love.
We have an ice cream lover up front.
Okay, my question is sorbet better than the regular ice cream?
Is sorbet, the question is sorbet
Sorbet or
ready?
sherbet? Sorbet.
And let me
No,
tell
they-
everybody what the question is.
She said it's sorbet or sherbet?
Is sorbet better than regular ice cream for your body? Because I just love ice cream.
Well, it doesn't contain dairy, but it still has sugar, a lot of it. Right. May I suggest, here's a quick recipe. Freeze a banana or freeze any kind of fruit. Use a couple of them. Almond milk, half a cup. Blend it in a blender. Put some vanilla in it. It comes out like soft serve. And throw a hand of pecans in there, I promise you. Try, I'm telling you, that's good. Yes.
How are we on time? Because I cannot see the clock. I have two more questions that I can see. And
This lady here.
yes, one here. We have one over there and one over here. Okay, so yes, two more questions. So I have one, and then I have one up front.
Yes, hello. I just want to make mention of the food grade chemicals that we have in our foods, like our cookies and crackers and our pastries and things. All those names that we see in the ingredients that we cannot pronounce. I just think we should be aware of those as well. You know?
We agree.
You are absolutely
wholeheartedly.
correct.
Then we
I have a question.
We have a young lady, not your average senior, ready with a question in the first row.
Okay.
We need a microphone.
Well, you want me to get my question in prior to her,
Yes.
since I'm standing? My question is in relationship to diabetes, and there's a lot of information out there that says the main culprit to diabetes is a parasite that has attached itself to the pancreas. And I want to know if that's accurate or if that's just something that's floating around.
I would ask yourself where we heard it from, because that's usually a good indicator of whether or not something is accurate. But to answer your question, no. Now, could there be different reasons in terms of the main culprit to diabetes? No. Are there sometimes different reasons why different patients arrive at diabetes? Absolutely. Some are because they were taking a medication. Some are post-transplant. Some is genetic and hereditary. But to say that any one thing is the overall big culprit, a lot of times I would look at that with a grain of salt as probably being not rooted in truth.
Okay, have you heard that though? Have you heard anything about that?
We can't.
I have, but yes.
So last question here in the first row.
Hi, I don't know who to address this to, but I've been making CMOS gel for a chronic condition, but my gastro doctor didn't give me the benefits of it. He knew nothing of it. Can you tell me if I'm doing the right thing? I add it to my smoothie every morning.
I think the CMOS is a great enhancer. In terms of intestinal issues, I wouldn't use it specifically for that. If I were you, I'd use something like, provided that you're not allergic or have a reaction to DGL. Diglycerinized licorice is chewable, it soothes the digestive tract, it actually helps to heal the esophageal lining, and it helps any upset. It also helps to boost your enzymatic quotient. And so if you're going to go that route, I don't view CMOS as an enhancer for your digestive tract in that way, but it can't hurt you. It's a great tonic.
So that's all the questions that we have time for, but I know, did you learn a lot today? Did you have a chance to add anything to your homework list? Who, raise your hand if you did with these tips? Raise your hand. There's no hands raised on this side. You don't have anything for your homework from these tips? We do want to let's give a hand to our experts, Dr. C. Nicole, Dr. LaJoyce, and Maria Moore. They were phenomenal and gracious with their time, and I learned a lot. I don't know about y'all. All right.
Does everyone need to detox?
Everyone absolutely needs to detox because you're eliminating the body burden of the environmental things, the crackers, the cookies, the breads, all of the things that have the icky stuff that we cannot pronounce. And nowadays you're walking into environmental toxins, even if it's not in your home. And if you're unknowingly using things that burden the system. So for instance, nowadays you're walking into businesses and there's this overwhelming smell of Fabuloso. That's a problem. That's a problem. And so I'm very concerned about that because Fabuloso, and I hope they're not a sponsor, but Fabuloso overwhelmingly markets to Black and brown communities. And that stuff is poison. If you are using it, trash it. And we need to start looking under our sinks as well. So these are the things that also burden us, not just the things that we eat. And then you go into buildings, and while you can't smoke inside, people are around the door outside. You can't even get in a building. And so that stuff gets all in your hair, and and oh my gosh, you have to. And so and then in doorways where people are congregating when it's cold and smoking. So these environmental factors burden the body. And so this is when you look up and say, oh my gosh, this person has cancer. It's never the one thing, just like the diabetes. It's this cumulative effect. So we need to be proactive. Like we used to say when I worked in the record business, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay? And I would have never thought in my whole life that when I jumped on this wellness journey when I was a senior in high school, because my journey began in a classroom, not in a clinic, that I would need to that it would have protected me from being married to a man who married me knowing he had full-blown AIDS and never said a word. And I am HIV negative, hallelujah. So you never know, and I've been detoxing for years.
All right. So do we have another virtual question?
The virtual question wants to know, is holistic medicine covered by insurance?
Holistic medicine is not covered by insurance because if it were, you'd have to do what they say, and that's not going to work out, not for me. So, they have a standard of care that they follow, but there are some naturopathic medical doctors that you could go to if you need to use your insurance. But let me encourage you at your jobs, if you have a flexible spending account, if you have a health savings account, you may use that to pay for your holistic care.
And also, can I add to that? Just look at what you're spending your money on. Pull your bank statements. Do you need all of those things that you're spending your money on? Are you going too hard when you log on to Amazon? Are you putting things in your basket at the grocery store that, you got science projects in your refrigerator. So there may be some ways for you to reallocate those funds to support your wellness goals. So you may need to look at your budget.
And when you're looking at doctors that are covered, look for terms like functional medicine, integrative medicine, look for extra accreditations that they may have achieved. Like for Dr. Whittle, she is a fellow in obesity medicine. Like, you want to see what else they might be able to offer within your network, because they do sometimes exist. Maybe a dietitian who is looking at things from a specific perspective, but do some research in your field, in your area.
Okay, we have two last questions. One is, can you repeat the licorice treatment? And the other one is, what were the doctor's 4 tips again?
The licorice treatment is DGL, diglycerinized licorice. They're chewable tablets that you can chew them before eating that help you to digest your food. The list of 4 things for perfect health for free is drink a glass of water every hour you're awake, pee and poop when nature calls you to pee and poop, go to bed at 10 o'clock, and exercise.
All right, did everybody get that? Can you say it one more time, please?
Drink a glass of water every hour you're awake. Pee and poop when nature calls you to pee and poop. Because y'all know the new cancer on the block is bladder cancer. Y'all don't want to pee. Number 3 is go to bed at 10 o'clock and exercise.
Okay, you got it. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you again to our panel.